Hey guys, this is the Golden Pretty with another deck profile. This time it's not going to be one of mine. It's going to be one of the local buddies of mine that's always that's given the whole locals quite a stir for this deck. Introduce yourself.
Oh, I am Jesse Cook.
Yep, he doesn't have a channel right now, but he is thinking about getting one. And if he does, I think I might as well put the link on it to the description and such. But what are you going to show to us today?
I'm going to code Genesis Witches.
Genesis Witches, you mean the... I hate them, I hate them, I hate them. Like, I usually hate the Shadow Paladin Witches just on their own. But these ones are become... These things are actually coming up to its close second. What do you have to say for this deck? Like, how is it good for you so far?
The deck is very consistent. It gives you your draws, in which you can use for stride and use for protection.
Alright. What do you want to start out with? Do you want to start with the starter?
The starter.
Because I know like some people would say some things, but why did you choose Leyding?
I chose Leyding to get like card advantage, so I don't have to spend a counterblast for a witch to call out.
Okay, because I know like in your decks, like you spend a lot of counterblast for your for some of your witches, like Melissa. Do you run Cameo?
Cardmile. I just run Cardmile.
Okay. And also the new Genesis Witch, which will be shown off later on. Go ahead and show out your grade 3s.
Okay. I use 4 funnels, and I use Firmament.
3 minutes. So it's a 7 grade 3 lineup. That's a little bit unusual, but it's not that. Bad at the same time. What's your? How come you don't run a 4th mint or something to make it as a 8 lineup?
I only run like 4 because Funnel gives you 4 cards anyway, and you get 7 is consistent enough. And besides, you only need Firmament as a boss, as the ace for the end of the game.
So it's pretty much this one's gonna be like the end game one, not the one Genesis grade 4.
No.
Okay. Do you want to show us the grade 2s?
Sure. Okay, I start first. I use 4 Chicories, the 12k archetype attacker. I use 4 Bunny Carmiles. Alright.
Now I just want to say this actually is a really good card for the Genesis Witches. Like it just gives you like a third a second cameo in some sense.
Alright, and I use 3 Jasmine for mate purposes.
Yeah, that's true because of Fennel's ability to pretty much search for 2 witches on attack. On attack is actually pretty handy.
And lastly, I use 2 Gleipnir for draw power and soul.
Draw power and soul. Okay. Although it does eat up your counterblast, which this deck really has a big weakness of counterblast management through the many testings. But I can see like the reason why you want to use Gleipnir, because you just don't want to use Fennel's ability that much, right?
Oh, it's an alternative draw card.
Okay. Alright, so this is actually a pretty good amount of grade 2s, I have to say.
Yes.
And there's no cameos. That's actually really interesting.
Yes, because the build mostly focused on legioning and using like the Jasmines for attack, emergency attackers at times, but use 2 as the main attackers. And this is for the card advantage. And it's unique because I'm running 13.
13 grade 2s. That is actually a really high number, especially for this game. I guess that's good for the grade 2s, grade 1s. There is one card that I think people might argue, and you're about to show it to them right now.
This one?
Oh, no.
Okay. Alright. I use 4 Witch Perfect Guards for a second search them with Funnel.
Okay. So you rather have you want to have a search power with a Fennel rather than having the unflip power that is due to that is the goddess of decline, El.
Alright.
Okay.
The next thing I use is the Archetype 10k attackers, Witch of Peaches.
Yeah. Yeah, it says they just don't have too much support to begin with on the grade 1 column. Grade 1 department. These things are actually pretty prominent. Especially in this day of age, like, all it is just, you know, getting that early rush, and these girls actually do help that out a lot.
Alright. I use 3 Witch and Melons just for setting up Legion and specific soul charging in the game. You only play 1 to 2 of them.
1 to 2, so how come you're running 3?
For consistency issues.
Okay.
So you draw it consistently.
Okay, what's your other ones?
Alright. The last 2 I run is 2 Witch of Frogs, which since I only use 2 is because the Witch of Cardamon.
Because of that one bunny. The bunny witch is going to be, it's pretty much your main fish. Alright, that's pretty nice. So, are you thinking about like replacing one Thyme with a one Melissa anytime soon?
I'll put that into consideration, but not at the moment.
Okay. Alright, so that's the end of the grade 1s.
Alright. Okay, for my first trigger I run Dream Dragon so the deck doesn't die out.
I have to say this right now, this is probably one of the best commons I've ever seen next to Tutura. It's because it just solves one of Genesis' main problems, which is us decking out so fast. And it just gives this deck a whole lot of stall potential. Which these witches actually do a very good job. Well, at least yours. Others I've seen like go for a little bit more of the aggro field presence. You know, like having 4 mints and 3 Fennels. But outside of that, what else do you run?
Okay, I run 4 Witches Familiar. I mostly use this as a second Witch crit, and so Fennel can search it, and Soul Charger if I need to use it. So pretty much
this is pretty much a Thyme clone for a trigger, right? Okay. That's that's a little bit weird, but hey, it sets up for Legion.
Okay. Next thing I run is 4 Vanilla Witch crits.
4 Vanilla Witch crits, and just assuming that you're just running the 4 Witch heals?
I am.
Alright, so this is pretty much 8 crits for stance for heals. That's actually out of all the trigger lineups that's coming up in this day and age, this is actually the most standard one, because Stride actually gives you good amount of draw power as it is. So it's pretty much to the point where draw triggers almost become pretty non-existent. But I see some decks actually having draw triggers as well. If that would be the case, would you add that witch draw trigger?
I would not. It may cause a deck to deck out more, because the deck draws enough with Fennel and like Fenrir.
Well, no, not Fenrir, Gleipnir.
Yeah.
Gleipnir, and also I've been seeing you abusing this thing for the draw power as well.
I have.
Like, this thing already has a good amount of draw advantage. I can tell you that right now. Alright. That's pretty much your whole deck. What about your extra deck?
Alright. First up, I use 1 of her.
1 of Diane. I actually do argue this deck is actually probably one of the only decks that can actually abuse this with. Because let's just say, you start out with no field, and you just put on Diane. You got actually give good pressure to actually soul blast one of these to get a good amount of field pressure. Which, in my point of view, is actually pretty great. And also, let's not forget the most abusive card in this thing, Leyding. Also gives you more field presence.
But that's a risky move with this card because you may not hit all the time. So.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty much. Which you run the next best one.
I run 4 Doombrace.
for Doombrace. My gosh. This card sets up everything for this Witch deck. Power, field presence with the white rabbits and Melissa, and also Leyding as well. Well, power, refund. You got it all with this guy. The only thing that might be troublesome is not having a retire, which this deck doesn't really have a sense of removal.
Yes, it doesn't. Alright, the last two I run is like they're just fill-ins.
So what are they supposed to be?
That's supposed to be like a Madew.
Okay, may I ask why do you run Madew? Do you run it because you want to get that free stride off?
I run it just in case I might need another grade free, in case some matchups like Mega Colony.
Okay, well, they do have Stun Beetle as well, so that might be a little bit of a problem, but hey, you got Fennel to actually search for PG, so you're actually pretty good right there. And then these two are supposed to be, I'm going to be assuming, the new grade 4 Vanargandr.
Yes.
So how come you don't run a full set?
Because, like, you don't get 6 soul that often, and more or less you'll be using Doombrace to scale more or less if you're gonna stride. Okay, that's a pretty good analogy right there. Well, pretty good, I can't really think of anything. But, so 2 is perfectly good enough for you. And Vanguard is better by himself, because he could be a solo card compared to Doombrace, which needs a field, at least 2 cards.
Alright. So, if you were expecting any support for the Genesis Witches, or just to be clarify, like, the Genesis in general, what would you like? Like, I've been noticing, like, there's a lot of counterblasting in this deck. Would you like to have, like, somewhat of a chance to unflip?
I like a Witch card that Soul Blast and unflip. Soul Blast and flip, so a Lemonade clone in general. And, if that would be the case, would you still be in consideration of replacing the Witch Perfect Guards with Hell? I would keep the Witch Perfect Guard so I could have searching power. Okay. That seems reasonable enough. That's a pretty good argument right there. Like, do you want to have more on flipping so that way you have field presence, or do you want to have searchability, a little bit of a safety net, if you can say? That's actually a pretty good argument right there. You got any final thoughts for this deck? The only thing I'm hoping for this deck is to get a stride, because Shadow Pound Witches got their stride. Yeah, they actually got their stride, which, by the way, I'm going to argue with this. That's actually one of the most balanced ones I have ever seen. And that's coming out of Bushiroad, which we're starting to see a little bit more of a power creep. Yes. So, yeah. Thank you for sharing your deck with us. We'll see you later. Opinions will always be welcomed, as long as they're not offensive or anything. And then, well, I'll see you guys later. Bye.